What's up, guys? Broskiis Gamers coming at you with another deck profile for today. Yugioh on the deck profile, no Kane. Been a little busy, but we're back. Before I get into it, like the video if you like the video. Please consider subscribing, especially if you've been here a few times, and drop a comment for what you want to see next. Let us know how you like the deck. But today, if you haven't guessed, especially by the title, if you just skip reading the title, just click on the video because you fuck with this that heavy. This is a Thief Springans Deck Profile, and I want to apologize for the bit of a lisp I got going on. I had some dental work, that sucks, but whatever. You don't want to hear about that. Starting out with the big boys. Got one Sargus, one Branga. Branga, you can banish this one when it's in the graveyard, and another Springans monsters, and then you can search any other Springans card in your deck that you need. This one on field Sargus is essentially a Dryadent, a bad Dryadent, so I mean he's alright. Also, they all have the effects to load themselves under an Xyz, Springans Xyz monster. Goodness, my lisp is insane. Drop a comment if you like lisp, Keanu. But next up, Triple Rocky. I see a lot of people play two of these. Don't agree. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying you're not right. This one, when it's into the graveyard, well, when it's normal special summon, you can add one of the gold sea spell filled cards. Sorry about that, my mouth. Or when it's Springans monster in your graveyard. Like I said, they can all load under a Springans Xyz monster. Sorry. Next up, Triple Brothers, one of the newer ones. There's probably one of the best ones. When it's sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can target one Springans monster in your graveyard, except itself in a special summon in defense position. So he's probably one of your better ones. Can definitely extend your board, extend your plays. Springans Paydor, probably the second best one, because you can tribute him and then target one Springans monster in your graveyard, except itself and special summon it. So you can kind of get a loop starting. If you can't tell, like you can get a loop starting between him and Rocky. It's just they're just pretty good, super consistent. Next up for the Time Thief package, Triple Winder, probably the best Time Thief main deck monster at pretty much all times of the game. Certain situations, your regulator is better, but he's just a free special summon essentially. Because if you already have the Spriggan set up, you can dispatch one, special summon him. When he's normal special summoned, you can add a Time Thief card from your deck. Time Thief Regulator, pretty busted. Really only good in your opener, because you can tribute him, special summon two Time Thief monsters with different names from your deck. So obviously you don't want to see this like turn 2 or 3, because hopefully you have a board by then. But I mean, if they completely blow your back walls out, he's good to see turn 2. Next, Bezel Ship and Adjuster, pretty good extension card. The Bezel Ship, Adjuster special summons herself, or when she's normal special summon, you can basically Foolish Burial from your deck. You can only use one of those effects. That's what makes her not like crazy busted. If she could do both in the same turn, that'd just be nuts. I really wish I could run two of her, but I just don't have the space right now. But you can give me your suggestions on that. The only hand trap I play is the Gamma package. Because this deck is tight, it's pretty tight. It's really all I had space for. And he's just the best because we have so many search spell cards. So this just ensures that our plays go through. I mean, if you don't want to run this, you could always run like Triple Ash and one Called by the Grave, or but this one's good going first or second. So that's why I like doing it. Triple with a field spell. Pretty much you special summon Xyz monster from your extra deck for free. Springans monster, if you control the Springans monster, literally all you have to do is pitch one, which none of them mind being pitched because they can just bring themselves back and reload themselves. So that's not a problem. Also, when Xyz monster leaves the field, you can basically battle fade one of your opponent's monsters. So kind of saves yourself 2. Also gives your Spriggans a nice little boost of 1,000 attack points. So that's nice because all your Spriggans extra deck monsters are pretty much wimps, but whatever. Terraforming, basically 4 of them. This deck is like super field spell centric, so you're trying to get to it as fast as possible. Spriggan's Watch is another card that gets you there like as quick as possible. It searches that, or if you already have it face up, it searches you any Spriggan's monster you need. Pretty crazy. Basically terraforming Anaerota in 1 card. This is like really elevates the consistency of this deck. Sorry if the camera's moving a little bit. It's hard to stabilize with 1 guy, am I right? Shout out to Kane for bowing though. Triple Spriggan's Booting, one of the newer cards. Originally I thought about cutting this down, but it's just really too good. Because if you don't have any other card to access your field spell, you just activate it, send it to the grave, activate it straight from deck. So it plays around Ash, plays around Droll. It's pretty nuts, honestly. And then if face up exceeds monster you control leaves the field, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, and neither player can activate its effects. So pretty nuts. Triple Springans Blast. Honestly, you could probably cut this down to 2, but it is really good. If you control the Springans monster, choose 1 opponent's main monster zones. If a monster is face up in that zone during this turn, it cannot attack directly. Also, its effects are negated. So it doesn't target the monster, it literally targets the zone. So it's really hard to play around this card. But if there is no monster in it, you can't use the zone. Pretty crazy. You can only use it once per turn, but it's just really good. 2 calls. So basically what this one does is you can target 1 Spriggan's monster or fallen battles in your graveyard, special summon it during the main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card and 1 fusion monster from your graveyard, then target 1 Spriggan's Z's monster you control, attach 1 fusion monster that lists fallen Albaz, and we do run 1 target for that in the extra deck. Can't tell you why that's good. Spell Trap Negate also swipes it, tucks it under your card. Time Thief Flyback, it's also good. I only run these at like 1. No need for any more of those because they search. They're easily accessible. That's it for the main deck. I'm getting to the extra deck real quick. I'm going through this a little quick just because my mouth is rather uncomfortable right now. But so around 1 Bujinki Ashashima, just really the best link I would play in this deck, because you just link off 2, especially in the back, go into it, either your Merrymaker, or you go into your Redoer, which is the best one. Don't often go into it, but it also is kind of cool, has like cool interaction like during your opponent's turn, so like you can like banish your Redoer, and this effect will trigger and it'll pop a back row. So pretty good. Mega Clops, because it's just really good, especially like turn 2, turn 3, when your Merrymaker comes back and your Reader come back. You already have access to 2, and it's easy to tutor out another Xyz monster and just link them all away from Mega Clops. And he's just a nice extra boss monster. Next, Triple Merrymaker, best Spriggan's extra deck card. So basically, when it's special from the extra deck, you just send 1 from your deck to the grave. Pretty crazy in this deck because, like I said, they all tuck themselves under a Xyz monster from wherever they are, hand deck or grave. And then you can banish it during your opponent's main phase or the battle phase. And then if it has 2, you can also send your fusion card. So pretty busted if you ask me. Spriggan's Ship Explorer. It's based so you target a monster zone, you can blow up everything, or a spell and trap card zone, you can blow up everything around it, depending on the amount of materials you have under it, which is pretty crazy because there's oftentimes like I usually go in this if I'm going second. You can just load up like 4 materials under it, blow up everything in a zone. It's almost like lining it up in the crosshairs and then just blowing it all up. So can't tell you why that's ridiculous. Also, this can dodge during the battle phase or the main phase, and then it comes back the next turn. So just really incredible extra deck monster. Time Thief Redoer, you already know what this does. It's pretty crazy in this deck, honestly. I know it's been out for a while. Time Thief Double Barrel. I rarely go into this, but when you do, like, pretty nasty. It's not as good a redoer. You aren't gonna go into it as many times. Time Thief Perpetual, kind of same thing with Double Barrel. You don't go into it as many times. One Dweller, and then one Divine Arsenal, double A Zeus Sky Thunder. You could easily cut down a Merrymaker for 2 of these, or you could take out, if you more of on a budget, because this is like my more budget build. You can definitely take this out and add another redoer, or add like a Tornado Dragon, whatever you feel fit. But I like them because, like I said, you can just load all your materials from the grave hand under one of your Merrymaker or Explorer, and then attack, then go into Sky Thunder. It's pretty nuts. Then 2 Iron Dash. So you usually just send this off the graveyard, and then when it's sent, you can add to your hand, or especially when Springans monster or one Fallen of Baz from your deck, and you can only use that effect once per turn. But pretty crazy. Nice little deck. Like I've been saying, been playing this deck a lot lately. I've really fallen in love with it. Super budget. Even with the Sky Thunder eats up like 60% of the budget. So even then, as you can tell, it's super budget. I know I ran through is kind of fast. I'm just haven't been feeling that well. But we're getting back into it. If you want to see like test hands or anything for this video, if it gets to like 25 likes within the first 7 days, we'll go ahead and upload that, make that happen. Probably go ahead and record it anyway. But leave a like on the video, consider subscribing, let us know what you want to see next, and see you next time.